Hey, what it do, dudes and dudettes? It's your boy Dano, back again with another reaction video.
It is glorious.
It's glorious indeed, friends. Hey, I appreciate you all coming back out here to join me, your boy Dano, again for another reaction video. Salutes to you all. Without further ado, let's get into these videos. Let's go.
Some of you guys have come up to this video. You're like, what is MTR talking about? What is going on? You have probably also seen my last video that I did talking about the Pop the Balloon content claim situation. All right. I uploaded this video. I want to say it was about 2 or so weeks ago. What happened within that video? Well, I let everybody know that there is this automated message that is coming through on behalf of a management company by the name of Mediocre Limited, on behalf of ARLETTE AMULI, which is the YouTube channel that we react to for Pop the Balloon. But we were getting these automated messages that were essentially claiming content of the video. All right. At that time, I didn't realize, I might have said out loud that it was an automated message, but I didn't really realize that literally what they were doing is they were taking any component of the original video on their channel, and if they identify any content whatsoever on the video that a commentator created, they were claiming that video. For folks that do not know, if you copyright claim, one of the options, which is the option that they opted for, is that we will take the revenue from this video at the point that it is claimed. Okay.
Yeah, so in my opinion, I feel like what ARLETTE AMULI and BM are doing right now
are really fucking stupid.
Honestly, I don't feel like it's conducive to their business, because I remember watching his original video, I want to say probably about 2 weeks ago, where he was talking about how he had gotten a copyright claim on, I think, like maybe several of the videos that he has done about Pop the Balloon. And he said that, he was going to pull away from it and stop doing Pop the Balloons, at least ARLETTE AMULI's Pop the Balloons, right? And that he was going to do other content. And to me, immediately when I heard about that, I was like, man, that just doesn't sit right with me. Now with MTR, he was playing it cool. He's like, it's probably a misunderstanding. I just want to lay back and see how this thing goes, with him probably refuting the copyright claim, because honestly, what he does, I think falls within fair use, because, and I can get more to that in a second. So let's continue and let's listen to what he got to say.
Okay. Now, without more information into the reason that they were doing this, pretty much my stance at that time was, I'm just going to leave their content alone. I thought that the commentator to original content creator relationship was one of a symbiotic relationship. The original content creators would benefit from having essentially a free marketing department to continue to keep their videos high within the algorithm, because that's how the algorithm works.
And, I thought the same thing. I was thinking like, them watching his video, because I can almost guarantee you that this copyright strike did not hit everybody who makes content using their content. I'm talking about Pop the Balloon's content. With ARLETTE AMULI, I'm willing to bet that everyone who has made content using ARLETTE's original content have not been flagged for copyright claims. And one of the reasons why I say that is because I actually have a video up on my channel where I use maybe like a 30-second clip from their actual video, and I have yet to be hit with a claim. Now, that doesn't mean that something may not roll out later on, but I'm willing to bet that their main focus were more than likely on people who have bigger channels like MTR. And I think that is what prompted them to do this, because they're like, whoa, wait a minute. This guy is bringing in millions of views, or at least hundreds of thousands of views. We want to try to get a little bit of that revenue share, because he's bringing in millions of views. But like he said, like MTR says, and I rock with him on this, is that I feel like it's a symbiotic relationship. They create the content, people like MTR, because there's many channels out there that do the same thing MTR does. They put their own spin on what they're interpreting. They interpret what they're seeing. They say how they feel. They give their opinion. And then that also drives you know, views back to the original channel, because there has been many people who have found Arlette Amuli's channel through watching MTR. Because look, I like watching MTR's version of Pop the Balloon, but then you have people like my wife who would rather go and watch the original content. So someone may have never heard of Pop the Balloon and happen to come across MTR's videos and may not like the way he does his videos, because you know his streams can be anywhere between 2 to 5 hours long. They may be like, oh, that's too long, drawn out. I don't care about the commentary. I want to watch the original product. And that will drive them over to Arlette's channel. You see what I'm saying? So I don't understand how this isn't already beneficial for both of them. I feel like it's a mutual benefit. I feel like it's symbiotic, but you know, greed gets, it really does. It gets the best. Yeah, greed, it gets the best of people, you know? And I think that's what's going on here. And originally my gut feeling when I seen what was going on with MTR's channel, that was my original thought, is that, okay, they're getting greedy. And you know, it's not only just because of that, but it's because of the deal they made with Netflix and how they start branching out and doing different things. I'm like, okay, they're starting to act like a corporation. Anyways, let's continue.
The more people, the more channels rather, that are talking about a particular piece of content, the more that content will surface, and good faith actors would continue on linking the original video so that people could go to the original source of the content. Now, it would also benefit the commentators, because the commentators would make essentially revenue off of it. Also, at the same time, they can push whatever movement or messages or whatever goals that they had with the platform by utilizing the content in a transformative manner. Okay, therein lies fair use. Now, what has happened since then? Okay,
yeah, and I agree with him, because like I said, watching MTR's essentially his reviewing of their content is a totally different experience than what you would have just watching their content directly from their channel without any type of commentary. He gives you a different type of experience that I actually enjoy more so than just watching it on their channel. You know, there may be times where I will go to their channel and actually watch the video, and this is what I used to do. I used to watch their video or watch MTR's videos and then go and watch their videos, or vice versa. But now with everything that's going on with people getting copyright strikes, I don't even feel inclined to watch them anymore. Honestly, I feel like their content has kind of gotten stale, and who knows, that could be a reason why, you know, they're coming after big YouTubers like MTR, is because maybe their viewership has dropped. I don't know. I haven't been to their channel in a while. Okay, but that could be a reason. I don't know.
Okay, because I left that video very professional in nature, just saying that I'm just gonna just leave it alone. This was recently, I guess as of 4 hours ago, posted on their community chat post on YouTube. Okay, in it writes, as of recently, a reactor channel ran our video through their content ID system, and we got hit with a copyright claim on our own video. This was a reminder of how important it is to protect our work. Okay, where y'all going with this? So here's what we are doing next. They've already partnered with Future Limited, but it says right here, we've partnered with Future Limited to manage our content and monetization on our channels. We're launching a revenue sharing program for reactors. Now, my immediate reaction off of this is damage control. I think that they underestimated the love that the commentators get in regards to reacting to their content. And there's a bit of damage control within there, and they're introducing this revenue sharing program for commentators to share in the revenue.
Yeah, so they weren't expecting people who react to these channels to have such a huge fan base. And I don't know why. I mean, if you look at MTR, usually on his videos, I will say within a week, he's getting around like 200,000 views. Those probably aren't 200,000 unique views. However, I will say out of 200,000, probably 175,000 of those views are coming from people who actually support his channel. And it's not just MTR. There are other big channels out there who are getting these copyright strikes too. And what Arlette and BM were not expecting were these fans of these channels hitting back at Arlette and them like, yo, what are you doing? You're really trying to stop this content from coming out? We enjoy this content. And they got a lot of backlash. I'm pretty sure of it. And now they're trying to do damage control. And it's like, well, now it's too late. And honestly, and now they're introducing this content revenue sharing program. And let's get into it. Let's watch it.
Now, copyright lawyers will tell you, well, if it's fair use, why are you sharing revenue? That doesn't make sense. While there's another portion of the internet that is essentially saying, well, revenue share, right? They do a lot of work on the content. Revenue sharing should be fair, right? Now, just as I said a second ago, I'm not here to talk about that. That is not really what I am disappointed with. But let's keep going on and reading what they have. I'll explain a little bit more. If you create reaction content and want to stay in the loop and earn from it, apply through the link in the description box of our latest upload.
Something smells fishy.
Let's just keep it real. This is a shakedown. This is almost kind of like extortion in a way. I mean, yes, I understand that Arlette and BM, you know, they are the ones that produce the original content. But like I said, and like MTR has said, is that what these reactors are doing falls under fair use. So there's no way they can come to you and be like, hey, you know, you owe us money. You have to share your funds, your revenue with us, because they don't have to, because it falls under fair use. The product that MTR puts out is a totally different experience than what you would get from simply watching Arlette's videos. You know, so them using this, like, this what I see as extortion content, like, oh, you cannot, we're gonna flag every one of your videos, or else you sign up for our content revenue sharing program.
Greedy motherfucker.
And you have to keep it under these certain guidelines.
A bullshit?
It's like, that's, to me, that's extortion. It's not fair, and you cannot legally do that. And I'm sure if MTR were to take this shit to court, he will win. He will win.
If selected. All right. So at this point I said, oh,
if selected. I'm telling you, I don't know why they are doing this to themselves. You know, I was talking to my wife, and, you know, I was talking to her about this whole situation, and it's just like, these are adults. These Arlette and BM, they are not children. And I think about this quite often when it comes to these businesses that make these weird business moves that hurt them in the end of the day. And I'm just thinking the same thing with BM and Arlette. Like, you guys have a functioning brain in your head.
If you have a brain in your head,
why are y'all making moves that are going to hurt your business? We have seen businesses be canceled, fall under, collapse. We have seen celebrities who have been canceled and have struggled financially due to them being canceled because they made bad business moves like this. And honestly, I feel like if this gets even worse, and if BM and Arlette follows through with this, they might as well go back to their 9-to-5s. BM, I believe he was like a rapper or producer. He might as well go back to that. Arlette, whatever the hell you were doing before this, you better go back to that. You better get them resumes ready, because I feel like what they're doing right now is going to cause them to get canceled. Because I can tell you this right now, the content that they are pushing on their channel, it's got, at least for me, it has gotten very stale, you know, and I'm sure many other people can agree. But what people like people like MTR does is they refresh the content that you know, Arlette puts on their channel, because people like MTR, they put their own spin to it. They make it a little bit more interesting. I honestly feel like these reaction channels and all these other channels that are using Arlette's and them content under fair use, I feel like they're the ones who are keeping Arlette and them alive in the first place. They're the reason why Arlette and them have gotten this big to begin with. I'm not gonna take, you know, all the credit away from and give it to all these other channels, because yes, Arlette and them have done the work to grow their channel, but I don't feel like they would be as big as they are if it hadn't been for other channels like MTR and all your smaller channels that fall under that umbrella of sharing that content. Because let's keep it a stack. Arlette, they did not invent this whole format of Pop the Balloon. They didn't. So yeah, I mean, I just feel like right now they're biting the hand that feeds them, and it's not a good business move. I mean, I think that this may be their downfall. Greed. It's crazy.
Oh, there's a selection criteria. Very interesting. You'll get a response via email. All right. We look forward to reviewing your submission. So
they turn so corporate.
immediately I went to episode 56. I opened up the form and I was very surprised, to say the least. Let's open that up. Thank you for your interest in joining our official revenue sharing program for content creators and reactors. To be considered, please complete the form in full. The program offers a 60-40 revenue split in favor of the reactor. Please note, participation is subject to approval at our sole discretion. You will be required to acknowledge and adhere to the content usage guidelines outlined below.
Wow. I mean, if this is not shooting yourself in the foot, no. This isn't shooting yourself in the foot. This is shooting yourself in the head. Man, this is bad. I mean, a 60-40 split. What if you completely built your channel off of reviewing Pop the Balloon, and now you have to split that revenue in half that you were using to feed your family with Arlette, even though they're already generating money off of their original content? And mind you, at the same time, and this is the kicker, your content falls under fair use. But because YouTube algorithm is so weird, well, not their algorithm, but their copyright claim system is so weird that it flags you every time and it automatically gives the money to Arlette and them. Some of these people may not have attorneys to be able to fight this shit, even though their stuff may fall under fair use. You know how hard that is and how long that can be drug out if you even have the finances to fight. It's not right, honestly, in my opinion. And I just feel like I said, and I'm gonna keep saying this is a bad move for Arlette and BM. Why in the hell are y'all doing this? Why are y'all doing this? I don't get it. Are y'all hurting that bad? Are y'all like millions of dollars in debt and we don't know about it? Because if that's the case, let us know. I'm sure you can start a GoFundMe and we can help y'all out. But this is a bad business move. A 60-40 fucking split. You cannot tell me that's not extortion.
All right, this is a stick-up.
YouTube is not going to protect you. Even if your content falls under fair use, YouTube is not going to protect you. I've seen this time and time again on YouTube. And then there's guidelines you have to follow under in order to even get in this program. So if you don't get in this program, they're going to flag all of your shit. That is crazy.
Content usage guidelines, you say? I wonder what's that. If selected, you get a response by email. We look forward to reviewing your submission. Reactors must adhere to the following terms to qualify for revenue sharing. Violations result in cancellation of participation in the revenue sharing program. Let's get active on this one. Contestant protection clause. Reactors may only comment on behavior presented on the show. They may not encourage or personally participate in harassment campaigns, including, all right, visiting contestants' social profiles to attack or insult them, doxing, or exposing off-show personal details.
Yeah, and you know, I get it. People should not be doing that. People should not go around harassing these contestants no matter how they act on the show. I feel like that's just such a waste of time. Really, I mean, we're adults. Why are we going around harassing people? They'll go in their inbox and say some nasty stuff. Like, that's so stupid and so immature. Get a life if you're doing that. But what BM and Arlette is trying to make it seem like what's going on here is that when people like MTR goes to their Instagram and pulls up their social their social media profiles, they're trying to make it seem as if that is harassment, and it's not. It's not, you know. So and this is my thing, you know, if going to their social media has been a problem for a lot of contestants in the past, why does Arlette and them continue to post it? Stop posting these people's social media. Nobody asked for them, so why are you still posting them?
Now, when I read this, I said to myself, are they talking about me? Because I go on the Instagram profiles in order to cross-reference the things that they are saying to the contestants versus the lifestyle that they live. That, by the way, is not doxing, nor is it exposing off-show personal details, because it's not personal. It's public. Is it off-show? No, because you drop their Instagram profile directly in the description box, and you also put it directly in the show itself. So why would the IG be considered off show if they put it right there on the screen? Then I thought to myself, maybe they're not talking about me. Maybe there's something else that's going on behind scenes. Then I reread this one: visiting contestants' social profiles to attack or insult them. And when I read this one, I said to myself, oh no, they're utilizing things such as attack or insult. That is such a broad sweeping term. So what does it mean by attack exactly? If I hear a young lady say that she's God-fearing, and then I go up on her social media profile and I see that she has her entire ass cheeks out, and then I take my Shane Bell in order to creatively display how it is that I think that she's full of shh, is that now considered attacking? What is an attack here? What is an insult here? It seems as though they're creating arbitrary systems to be able to govern your free speech. Anyway, number 2, respect and non-defamation clause. What? Reactors may critique show content, but not defame or spread misinformation about BM or Arlette as public figures or producers. I'm not sure if there's content creators out there that are defaming, and I would say to BM or Arlette, if there's people out there that are defaming you, making up things regarding you guys, your relationship, then sue them for defamation, right?
Exactly.
It's not that let's limit their speech so that they can make revenue off of us. I think that's the wrong direction. The Pop the Balloon brand, as it relates to BM and Arlette Amuli, accusations or narrative twisting that harms reputation. 3, platform integrity clause. No use of your content to promote hate speech, harassment, or bullying. And this one was my favorite: misogynistic. Notice how they don't call out misandrist, right? Racist or slander. Now, if my content did any of these things, then I would have been gone as a content creator a long time ago. But I really believe, and this is my opinion, these are broad, sweeping words that are going to be utilized to reduce what it is that you do and or can say, i.e. your free speech. In case anyone is unaware, all of these things are against the YouTube guidelines.
Anyways, MTR, he goes on there for a while, but I don't know if they're doing this to protect themselves, because I feel like they're kind of doing this to protect themselves, and this is literally how corporations operate, right? We've seen it before, where, you know, they have these certain policies where they don't want you to do certain things in order to protect themselves. I feel like that's kind of what BM and Arlette is doing right now. But honestly, I feel like this is a bad move on their behalf. I feel like this is going to hurt the brand, their specific brand, which is Pop the Balloon with Arlette Amuli. Besides, the whole Pop the Balloon was not created by Arlette nor her husband. So there is no Pop the Balloon brand. There is the Pop the Balloon with Arlette Amuli brand, but they do not have rights to Pop the Balloon. Okay, I just want to make that clear. But I feel like this is a bad business move. I feel like this is going to hurt them. This is going to negatively affect them. And I don't know why they don't see it. I mean, I would think if you have a brain in your head, you would know that this is going to hurt your business, because there are a lot of people who watch MTR, a lot of people who enjoy his commentary. There's a lot of YouTube channels out there that have commentary that have fans. Way more fans than what Arlette Amuli and her husband has, right? But I mean, honestly, I felt like they didn't have much integrity from the beginning. And the reason why I say this is because like I was telling my wife, a lot of things that they have been doing is to grow their brand at the expense of other people, like the contestants that are on their show. Their show allows people to make a fool of themselves. Now, I'm not taking any accountability or responsibility away from the contestants who show up on that show, but they allow people to show their asses on that show. And you can't tell me that if they were as diligent as they are with this whole copyright thing, if they were that diligent with their interview process, a lot of these people will not be slipping through the cracks. There's been several times where they have had people on their shows where it's obvious that those people literally showed up on that show just to go viral or to sell a product. There was a guy who showed up with 2 ski masks on. Like, you mean to tell me when that guy walked out there and you put a mic in his hand that you thought that he was going to be there for dating?
You don't find that suspicious?
Same thing with the guy who made his own little spin-off show with the old folks. Like, you really thought that guy was coming there for a date? Or was he there to market himself? It's the same thing with a lot of the young women who come on that show. They come on there to go viral and to build up their fan base. So yeah, I feel like there's a lack of integrity on Arlette's and BM's part. Now, that's just my opinion. I'm not trying to defame them, but to me, that's seeing what is going on. They're doing all this, they're making all these moves for money, like the whole situation with Netflix. I know that they're getting kickback for that. You know, I'm sure that they're getting something out of that deal, something financially out of that deal. You know, and I just feel like, you know, when they're making moves like this, all it's going to do is just going to kill their business. I feel like everything they're doing is just out of greed and selfishness, because there are a lot of people whose bread and butter is making commentary to their videos, and now you're just killing all that. I'm glad that my channel isn't one of those channels, but I can just imagine those people who have built their entire channels off of responding and reacting to Arlette's videos, and now that has to cease because Arlette and BM does not agree with their type of content. That's foul. That's foul, and I'm sure there's going to be a negative effect because of this, but hey, only time will tell. Anyways, guys, that is all for today. Again, I'm your host, Dan-O. If you like this video, like, share, and if you haven't already, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Anyways, guys, you go ahead and have a glorious day. I'm out. Peace.
Perfect.